Yeah, Tracy and Jackie, right now we have the next high tide coming up, the afternoon high tide, which was really the high tide of greatest concern here along the Jersey Shore. And we were hoping to be able to be up there on Bay Avenue, also known as Long Beach Boulevard, but the water has gotten so deep in the last hour or so, there is no way that we could go out there safely. Just take a look at the fire hydrant. You can see just how high the water is there. And then across the street, that's Bay Village, a bunch of shops and restaurants. The people there were hoping they'd have a lot of customers today. This is a holiday, but instead they've gotten a whole lot of water inside, and it is still surging. The flooding kept Country Kettle Fudge closed to customers today. Inside, the Beach Haven business still waterlogged from the early morning high tide, with concerns rising about the next one.
We got about 6 inches in the shops, and we're expecting another probably foot or more the next tide. I'm here picking stuff up a little higher.
The raging Barnegat Bay looking more like the ocean. Persistent northeast winds driving more and more water into the bay and ultimately out onto streets, many still flooded even after low tide.
The overnight high tide was the worst so far. This afternoon, it's not really going down. It's not draining.
This time lapse approaching the afternoon high tide showing the water quickly coming up again.
I've taped the bottom of the freezer off, so we hope that we don't get water into the freezer.
They already had quite a mess there inside, and I think it's going to be an even bigger mess when this is all said and done. Right before, right when I started talking, you probably saw a man. Well, there's a guy down there on his bicycle right in the floodwaters. When he was in the middle of Bay Avenue a few minutes ago, that water was waist deep. And I can tell you that about 3 hours ago, I was able to walk all the way across Bay Avenue with the water pretty much only coming up to my knee. So that tells you how quickly this water has been rising, and it appears it is still coming up. Live in Beach Haven, I'm Ted Greenberg, NBC 10 News.
I can only think of the cleanup ahead. Thanks, Ted. NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Robert Johnson is tracking what is still to come for us this evening and what's still to come for them at the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, that's right, Tracy. And the worst of it has been down the shore, and that will be the theme as we go throughout the next several hours. And I want to start you off with the first alert that's still in place throughout our coastal communities until 8 o'clock tonight. We've been calling it a coastal storm because that's where the greatest impacts have been, and that's where the greatest impacts will continue to be. So the first alert remains in place until 8 o'clock tonight for our coastal neighborhoods, and that's because moderate to major flooding is ongoing and still expected for the next several hours across much of the Jersey Shore. So this is a map that Michelle Rotel and I just put together, and it goes to show the current coastal flooding intensity. Notice the wind, the circulation there, that's where the area of low pressure is, the coastal storm. And there's moderate flooding up and down the Jersey Shore, all the way down into the Delaware Bay at Lewis. Little Egg Inlet at Tuckerton is currently at moderate flood stage, but very close to major flood stage. Also moderate through Ocean City, all the way down through Cape May. But then once you go up the Delaware Bay, there's the green dot. That means it's still good there. And we have winds coming out of the northeast up and down the Jersey Shore. So even during low tide, the water can't recede. But a northerly wind across the Delaware Bay helping to prevent as much coastal flooding in those neighborhoods. Satellite and radar shows we still have some light rain and spotty showers, especially up and down the Jersey Shore through South Jersey into Delaware. All of this pivoting farther inland to the west. It's very light in intensity, but it is persistent. And Brenna White was talking about that earlier this morning on NBC 10 News at 11 a.m. Still some light showers throughout Delaware, in and around Dover, all the way down through Lewis. But the wind has been persistent, gusting up to 31 miles per hour right now in Philadelphia, 37 in Atlantic City at the airport, and the wind gusting up to 40 miles per hour across Seaside Park. Hour by hour we go. A wind-driven shower and sprinkles, especially south and east of the city. There's 6 o'clock. That continues through 9 o'clock tonight. A few light showers drifting their way into the PA suburbs, Berks County and the Lehigh Valley. And even at midnight tonight, lots of clouds, still going to be breezy with a spotty shower. So over the next several hours, the biggest concern is coastal flooding. Coastal wind gusts 30 to 50 miles per hour, inland 20 to 30, and scattered showers and sprinkles.